The Boston Celtics are your 2024 NBA Finals champions, and what would it be without the fans of the Boston Celtics? So that's exactly what we're going to talk about here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Myself, producer Smitty, are going to break down what Boston Celtics fans, real fans, are reacting to their team winning the NBA Finals after 16 long years. Since 2008, as they now get to raise banner 18. And what better way to start it off with a Celtics Today legend than Duncan from Connecticut, who's been with us from day one till now. And he gave the best comment, in my opinion, that I can come up with after the Boston Celtics won banner 18. Duncan saying, Celtics, we were the best team all year, and I'm still crying. I have to wake up in 5 hours. I cannot sleep. I wasn't going to sleep until we won. I don't care. Hashtag long live Brad Stevens. When I tell you Brad Stevens, he traded for Porzingis. And I'm like, holy cow, Porzingis. And then he did it again with Drew Holiday in September. I mean, the man crafted the most perfect roster you could have to win the NBA Finals. And Duncan summarizes it best. Long live Brad Stevens, Smith.
I'll never not give Brad Stevens the credit he deserves. He's arguably a top 5 human being in the game of basketball. Players,
I think he's
coaches,
a top 5 American.
He might be white boy of the year. I'm not gonna lie. Coaches, players, executives, scouts, trainers. It doesn't matter. Brad Stevens stands near the top of the entire list. He takes over this team after Doc Rivers, and they trade away Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce.
Right.
And then he becomes the executive after coming up short for a couple seasons. And then he makes the move to go get Derek White, brings them to a finals thereafter, and then he decides to make the heartbreaking decision to trade Marcus Smart.
That's tough, man.
Bring in Porzingis, and then, like I said, bring in Holiday and craft the perfect roster to win a championship. Brad Stevens is the man. Duncan is the man.
Yep.
And we couldn't have done it without a guy like Duncan, who's been here since day one.
No, I mean, genuinely, you got to give credit to all the Celtics fans that have been here with us in Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Another one coming in is Boston Bob. I mean, this guy is at every single watch party. We cannot do this without people like Duncan and Boston Bob. And this is just a real Celtics fan reacting to winning banner 18. And he also gave credit to us, myself and Smitty, who went live for over 80 games, which, if I haven't told you before, this is why you guys subscribe to Celtics Today. We're just fans talking to other fans about the Boston Celtics, saying we all want to say thanks to both of you for an unbelievable season. You both worked your asses off all year, and it paid off tonight. Best show and duo anywhere on the web. I mean, legend has it, there are 3 great duos in the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Derek White and Drew Holiday, and Allie Barefoot and Tyler Smith. So, I mean, appreciate that, Boston Bob. Another guy that came along as well, you got Harrison Drysdale in here saying,
This is a good one. I like this.
Celtics should Deuce get a ring. I'd say his role on the team is substantial, keeping the morale high in that locker room. I also want to give credit to Deuce for pregame warmups. I think he defends Jason Tatum the best out of anybody in the NBA. I think he knows how to defend down low, and he really makes sure Tatum is working around those shots. I don't know if you guys saw that video of him actually stiff-arming his son, Deuce Tatum. He falls to the ground, and he splashed a 3 in his face. I mean, Deuce Tatum, man, what a lucky kid. Should he get a ring? Maybe a jewel. Maybe a jewel, but...
Give him a mini one. Give him a mini one.
Give him a mini... Hey, you want a ring pop? He gets a ring pop. No, Deuce, what a great father. Jason Tatum is giving that to Deuce, giving him memories that'll last a lifetime. I mean, it's just been great to watch. Noah Santana, a long fan of Raiders Report here at Chat Sports, came over to us in the finals, and we're grateful for him, saying, how will teams react to the Celtics winning as a team, and what teams are closest to actually compete now that Celtics have proven they're the ones doing it right? By the way, not a Celtics fan. So like I said, he's a Raiders fan, but he joined in here. So once again, how will teams react to the Celtics winning as a team? I mean, that's what Drew Holiday said the minute they won. He was like, the reason why we did this is because we're a team. And you have to think about it. This team has several superstars on it, And they won without any ego getting in the way. Tatum could have an ego. Brown could have an ego. Holiday, Porzingis, Horford, White, all of them are very, very selfless. And I do think that if there were, other players in the Western Conference, obviously it would be a different scenario. You can put the Nuggets, the Timberwolves in there, blah, blah. But I think this just puts out on the radar to the media, the radar to the other NBA teams that Brad Stevens, if they can afford and keep this five together, may have just started a dynasty that he is not aware of.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, this team doesn't have, and as much as I love Jason Tatum, am I ready to call him a definitive top 3 player in this NBA? Probably not yet.
Yeah.
Probably not yet, but that's okay. That's okay because shout out to Brad Stevens for building a perfect roster.
Yes.
I think that teams aren't going to go the route of loading up on superstar level talent, guys who are just 3 or 4 elite top end scorers, and they're going to go with guys like a Drew Holiday, like a Derek White, like a Chris Porzingis, who play their roles so well. And then you got 1 or 2 guys at the top that can end up taking over a basketball game whenever need be, i.e. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That's the formula. Hopefully the Celtics can keep this alive for a long time. It's going to cost a lot of money, but I know owner Wick Grusbeck is going to make it happen. He said he's willing to pay, and let's see it go through for a couple more rings.
Tony the podcaster coming in. I'm so happy. I was 13 when they won last time. Smitty, you were saying, you were 7?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring this up, because I was 7 years old when they won it last time. I'd be lying if I told you I remembered, the Celtics winning the championship back in 2008. And now I'm 22. I started watching them when I was about 10 years old, and here we are now. It is an unbelievable feeling. I know that this is the 18th banner. It's the most in NBA history. But at the same time, you have to revel in the fact that it's been 16 years and they've built this from the ground up, trading an aging KG, an aging Paul Pierce, and you get a couple of draft picks, you hit on those draft picks, and you build this team from the ground up, and it results in a championship. There is no better feeling.
No, 110%. Obviously, I kind of got into sports or the NBA when I was a teenager. I worked with the NBA, and I got to work many Boston Celtics games, and I just gained a newfound love for the Celtics when I was working games at TD Garden. So to see this happen in real time, to be able to be the host, work alongside a great producer like Tyler Smith, it's just, a dream job for me. We took this channel over in September, right before the season started, and we did not know what we could accomplish here. So it's just been a really great season watching possibly one of the best rosters I have ever seen put together before unfold in front of my eyes. So if you cannot wait for the Boston Celtics parade, like this video, because we will be live for the Boston Celtics parade as well here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Unfortunately, we won't be there, but we're going to be drinking. We're going to be celebrating with those who can't also make the parade as well. But if you guys want to rock the best merch at the Celtics parade and all of the Celtics games moving forward, I highly suggest getting your merch right now. 2024 championship gear is finally launched on Fanatics, and Chat Sports has the best link around. Chatsports.com/NBA Champs is going to get you this shirt that Tatum, Brown, Holiday, Horford, Porzingis were all wearing after the ball game. If you guys want to wear the exact same shirt that these players were wearing, it's right now on Fanatics. If you guys want the easiest way to go ahead and get that, chatsports.com/NBA Champs is going to be your best chance at getting this t-shirt. Go on ahead, get them right now. Send them in for the NBA Finals parade, the Boston Celtics parade. Wear this to a bar. Wear this in the fall. This is a timeless t-shirt, and I want you guys to have this piece of memorabilia 20 years from now when you hand it down to your kids, to your grandkids, whatever it may be. Chatsports.com/NBA Champs to get your hands on all the latest NBA gear. Twizzy coming in. What's your opinion on Brown winning the Finals MVP?
Well deserved.
Well deserved. Absolutely. Brown deserved it. He was extremely consistent throughout the NBA playoffs and in the Finals as well. And I thought maybe with Tatum's over 30-point game, and I believe it was game 3, maybe game 2 or game 3, but then he went and scored 31 points in game 4. I thought Tatum had solidified that Finals position, but Brown deserved it. ESPN did not a single ESPN analyst had Jaylen Brown winning the NBA Finals MVP. So I think that just speaks to the volume he had. I thought as an all-around player, he did phenomenal. He was right there with Tatum when it came to the box score. So I think Brown 110% deserves this award.
I agree. The defense that he played on Luka Doncic throughout the series was second to none as far as Boston Celtics defenders go. I thought Jason Tatum made a great case for himself in Game 5. 31 points, over 10 assists. He was 2 rebounds off a triple-double. But at the end of the day, I know those guys are happy for each other, and they're just very glad to get the monkey off their back as far as the doubters saying that they couldn't win a championship and the haters saying that they're mentally weak and they're not good enough as far as players go, top-end players go, to lead their teams to a championship. You know what? Jaylen Brown was hated on for getting that contract of $300 million, and guess what? Now he's Finals MVP, and you can't say shit about him.
That's fair. That's very fair, yeah. Because now you got to think, like, will Tatum get an extension? What's going to happen? But Jaylen Brown had so much hate around a guy that struggled with his left hand to be the highest paid player in the NBA.
As late as sometime like this year, maybe last year in the Heat series where he turned the ball over so many times, the progression that he's made is not only a ball handler and a facilitator.
Right.
We know how good of a scorer he is. We know how good of a finisher he is. We know how good of a defender he is, even though he even took some strides on that end this season. Couldn't be happier with the progression that Jaylen Brown's made. He's gotten better every single year, and it culminated in a Finals MVP.
Absolutely. King Casey coming in. Do you think they go back-to-back? I don't see why not.
Yep.
If you can keep this starting 5 together, then I do not see why you possibly could not go back-to-back here. I mean, it's
realistically, who's beating them? Who's beating them next year?
I don't know who they have.
If Porzingis is healthy, who's beating them?
Who's beating them? I think they absolutely could. That's going to be up to Brad Stevens in the front office to see who they're going to extend, who they're going to keep around, and who they're going to pay heading into this next season. And then, of course, you got Allie Barefoot's burner coming in here. Who is she? She sounds great.
Wow.
Do you think Joe Mazzulla get an extension this offseason? I think he could be the face of the Boston Celtics as the head coach for the next 10 years.
I agree.
I think what he has done, and I doubted him for the longest time. I think that he has 110% proven that he is a legitimate coach in the NBA. Even after last year, taking the Eastern Conference Finals, taking him away from Ime Udoka, I think that was just phenomenal what Joe Mazzulla did, and I think he deserves an extension for sure.
I couldn't have said it better. The Celtics have bought into what Joe Mazzulla is selling, and he's this unorthodox coach. He's the youngest coach since Bill Russell to win an NBA championship at the head coaching position. And I couldn't be happier for him because, like you said, he's had a ton of doubters throughout the way as well. Now let's get through a couple other reactions to cap off this show.
Boston Bob, once again, coming in with the all want to say thanks to both of you for an unbelievable season. You both worked your ass off all year, and it paid off tonight. Best show and duo anywhere on the web. Thank you, Boston Bob, for all of your support so far in the Celtics Today journey. Job's not finished. We got the off season now. Want you guys still be a part of it, hit that sub button for me if you guys have not already. But thank you once again to everybody that's joined us here with the Boston Celtics all season long. So if you guys want to join us, go on ahead, hit that sub button on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. We're going to go live once a week in the off season to keep you guys updated on everything the Celtics are doing. So if you guys want to join us, hit that sub button. And as always, go Boston Celtics.